Igbojini. He said the court clash started at Igbojini over the control of the new motor terminal built by the state government, which became operational last week. The police public relations officer, Bayelsa State Command, Musa Mohammed, is yet to make comment on the matter. Catholic Diocese of Warri in Delta State has suspended Reverend Father Daniel Okana Toto Ogene Rukewe from priestly duties following his alleged marriage sealed in the United States of America. A statement titled Decree of Suspension dated Thursday, January 16, 2025, copies of which were made available to journalists in Warri on Sunday, which was simply signed by the Bishop of Warri, Right Reverend Anthony Ovayeru Ewerido, and the Chancellor and Notary, Very Reverend Father Clement Abobo, said Father Ogene Rukewe entered into marriage with Miss Dora Chicha on December 29, 2024 at the Streams of Joy Church in Dallas, USA. It was further gathered that the footage of the marriage reportedly circulated widely on social media and had prompted the church to act and do hereby officially decree that he is suspended from the exercise of sacred ministry. The diocese revealed that Father Ogene Rukeve had requested on November 30, 2024 to be released from all canonical obligations associated with holy orders, and the diocese said it reached out to him asking for the required documents to begin the process, but the priest went on to marry without completing the procedure, and as such he is prohibited from presenting himself as a priest of the Catholic Diocese of Warri in any capacity, and all canonical implications associated with this suspension take immediate effect. The diocese further stated that Ogene Rukeve retains the right to petition for the revocation or amendment of the decree, but must demonstrate a willingness to reform. Imo State Police Command has apprehended 40-year-old Uchenna Okpara for allegedly stabbing his in-law Uchenna Unakalamba to death during an altercation involving their children. The police public relations officer in Imo State, Henry Okoye, who disclosed this in a statement released on Sunday in Owerri, said the tragic incident occurred on January 16, 2025 in Ubomiri Imbito local government area of Imo State. A statement by the police said Okpara allegedly attacked Unakalamba with a broken bottle after a disagreement between their children escalated into a heated argument. Police officers responding to a distress call apprehended the suspect and recovered the weapon used in the attack, while Okeye said the victim was confirmed dead at the hospital and his body had been deposited in the morgue. In a related development, the Imo Police Command had arrested a suspected member of a notorious kidnap syndicate, Osama Dike, during an operation in a forest near Agua, Oguta local government area, adding that on January 16, 2025, operatives of the anti-kidnapping unit acted on credible intelligence and raided the hideout of the syndicate. The Lagos State government has ordered the closure of Smiley Kids Montessori School located in Heritage Place Estate, Sangotode, following a swimming pool accident that claimed the life of a 2-year-old girl, Rafaela Ogbodo. A statement shared on the Lagos State government's official X, formerly Twitter account, said officials from the Lagos State Safety Commission and the Office of Education Quality Assurance under the Ministry of Education visited the school to conduct a preliminary investigation into the circumstances surrounding the incident. While the school is presently under lock pending further investigation, the state government extends its deepest condolences to the family of the victim and expresses its commitment to preventing future occurrences. The Director General of the Safety Commission, Lanre Mojola, said all school owners and caregivers must comply with safety regulations to prevent accidents in the state, while families of the bereaved are calling for justice following the death of the 2-year-old daughter at a school in Lagos. Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke has lauded the Department of State Services for their recent arrest, successful operation, and assured that the administration would continue to cooperate with security agencies and support the operations to ensure maximum protection for lives and property of Osun people, noting that this remains top of his priority. While urging residents to continue to be watchful and report any suspicious activity in their neighborhoods to relevant security of agency, Adeleke assured that Osun would continue to be a peaceful state under his watch. Ruling All Progressives Congress has won 16 out of the 18 chairmanship seats in the local government elections in Ondo State. The chairman of the Ondo State Independent Electoral Commission, Joseph Aimo, who disclosed the declaration at the headquarters of the commission in Akure on Sunday, said while the rescheduled election is being held in Ondo West local government area, results are being expected from Owo local government area, adding that only 12 political parties contested for the chairmanship and councillorship offices in the elections held on Saturday. Before the poll, the People's Democratic Party announced its decision to withdraw from the election, saying it does not believe in the Ondo State Independent Electoral Commission to conduct a credible election. The 12 political parties that contested in the election include Action Alliance, Action Democratic Party, Action People's Party, All Progressives Congress, All Progressives Grand Alliance, Booth Party, and Labour Party. Others include the National Rescue Party, New Nigeria People's Party, Social Democratic Party, Young Progressive Party, and Zenith Labour Party. Before the Saturday poll, the last council election in the state was conducted on August 23, 2020, with the tenure of the elected council officials elapsing on August 22, 2023, and since then, the administration of the 18 council areas of the state has been managed by civil servants, specifically the heads of local government administrations. However, after several postponements, the Ondo State Independent Electoral Commission finally fixed January 18, 2025 for the conduct of the election. Egba Division of the Ogun State Police Command has arrested one Kazim Sholola for pouring hot oil on his wife, Mutiat Sholola, and stabbing her in the head during a domestic dispute. Sholola, a resident of the Ring Road community in Owode Egba, Obafami Owodo local government area, reportedly carried out the assault in a fit of anger following a misunderstanding with his wife. The spokesperson for the command, Omolola Odutola, who disclosed this in a statement, said a member of the community reported the incident to the police, leading to the suspect's immediate arrest, adding that Mutiat, who sustained severe burns and injuries, is currently receiving medical treatment at Ore Ofe Hospital in Owode Egba. Tragic scene unfolded when gunmen stormed a Celestial Church of Christ in Idiroko, Ipokia local government area of Ogun State, and shot dead a 54-year-old prophet, Yomi Adetula, during the church service. According to reports, the attackers, numbering 3, invaded the CCC Eagle Parish along Baggage Road on Odo Eran Idiroko around 10:30 a.m., targeting the prophet in the brutal assaults that left worshippers in shock and fear. According to eyewitnesses, the gunmen opened fire on Adetula before viciously mutilating his head with an axe to confirm his death. Confirming the incident, Ogun State Police spokesman Omolola Odutola described the harrowing details in a statement issued on Sunday afternoon. The prophet's remains have been deposited at the General Hospital morgue in Ilaro as the police launched an investigation into the killing, while Odutola revealed that the suspects fled toward the border area after the attack. Residents of Gwagwalada have commended the Federal Capital Territory Minister Yesom Wike while expressing satisfaction in the ongoing Market Radio Nigeria roads as well as the Aguma Palace Road constructions in Gwagwalada Area Council in Abuja. According to the residents, the roads already has brought development and increasing business opportunities as traders now find it easy to transport their goods to their shops and market square on a daily basis without stress. Federal government has expressed its condolences to the government and people of Niger State following Saturday's petrol tanker explosion at Diko Junction in Gurara local government area. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Professor Nantewe Iwada, described the incident in a statement released on Sunday as tragic and claimed many lives and caused extensive property damage. In Abuja by Rhoda Ilia, the ministry's information officer said the death toll from the petrol tanker explosion has risen to 86, while 55 others injured and taken to hospital, adding that the minister expressing concern over the rising frequency of tanker explosions in the country and warned motorists against reckless driving that could endanger innocent lives. Yulwata urged them to strictly adhere to road traffic regulations at all times and also offered his condolences to the families of the victims and wished a speedy recovery to the injured. The minister commended the swift response of the Niger State Governor Umaru Bago and his team, particularly the State Emergency Management Agency, the Fire Service, and the Federal Road Safety Corps, and also thanked the Nigeria Police Force and other concerned Nigerians who assisted in evacuating the victims from the scene. According to the Director General of NSEMA, Mr. Abdullahi Baba Ara, the incident resulted in 86 fatalities, with 80 individuals buried in mass grave and the rest handed over to their families. for burial. Former President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed deep sadness over the tragic loss of lives following a petrol tanker explosion at Diko Junction on the Abuja-Kaduna Highway in Gurara local government area of Niger State. The incident, which occurred on Saturday, reportedly claimed at least 86 lives. A statement issued by his media aide, Garba Shehu, on Sunday, Buhari extended his heartfelt condolences to the government and people of Niger State over the devastating incident, and also expressed disappointment at the increasing practice of scooping fuel from tanker spills despite repeated warnings from authorities about its dangers. He lamented the recurring nature of such incidents and the attendant loss of lives. Plateau State Task Force has successfully intercepted 2 children being trafficked from Langtang South local government area to Lagos. The task force also apprehended a female suspect during the rescue operation. Confirming the incident, the Plateau State Commissioner for Women Affairs, Mrs. Caroline Panglang, therefore revealed that the victims were rescued at the Lagos Park in Jos and called on Plateau residents to remain vigilant and report suspicious activities to security forces, stressing that collective action is key to eradicating the menace of human trafficking. Therefore said, the increasing prevalence of human trafficking in Plateau State has drawn serious concerns from stakeholders, including the Christian Women for Excellence and Empowerment in Nigerian society. Addressing with their families through the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, and urged the government to address the root causes of trafficking, such as poverty and unemployment, by creating livelihood programs for vulnerable families. The organization also called for stricter enforcement of anti-trafficking laws, harsher penalties for offenders, and enhanced collaboration between law enforcement, the judiciary, and child protection agencies to ensure swift prosecution of traffickers and proper care for victims. Plateau State government says it will prosecute Forsted when the operatives raided some black spots in the Bukuru area of Jos South local government area of the state. In a video accompanying the police statement, the State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Caroline Pangyang, condemned prostitution among young girls in the state, describing it as unacceptable. According to her, those arrested will be prosecuted accordingly to serve as a deterrent to others before rehabilitating the sex workers. Borno State Governor Babangana Zulum says terrorist attacks in some villages in Chibok local government area of the state has displaced 74 households. According to Zulum, no fewer than 5 persons have also been killed, while 2 others were injured in a series of attacks, adding that 5 churches, market stores, and properties worth millions of naira were destroyed. Called for community resilience, while urging residents to remain united and resolute in the face of threats. You're watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this break. Stay tuned.
from the lands across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Welcome back. This is the global news on Atlantic Television Network, and now to the rest of our stories. Vice President Kashim Shettima has departed Abuja to represent Nigeria at the 2025 annual meeting of the World Economic Forum scheduled for Davos, Switzerland. Senior Special Assistant on Media and Communication Stanley Quacher on Sunday said the Vice President will join world leaders, top business executives, and representatives of development partners at the meeting to discuss the state of the world economy and the view to improving its conditions. While in Davos, he will hold bilateral meetings with other leaders and participate in workshops and forums slated for the annual gathering. Among events slated for the Vice President include a workshop titled Roadmap to Co-Create Investment Opportunities for Africa's Frontier Markets, organized by the African Development Bank in collaboration with the World Economic Forum to boost the flow of capital into Africa's frontier markets to scale solutions that build a prosperous, inclusive, and resilient continent. It is slated for the Congress Center in Jacobshaw. Top on the agenda will be an announcement of the humanitarian and residence investing roadmap for Africa in partnership with the African Development Bank, and foster partnerships between public and private sector leaders interested in mobilizing investment in Africa's frontier market, among others. The Vice President will also attend a dinner for heads of state, government, and international organizations, as well as annual meeting 2025 Crystal Awardees, the International Business Council, and strategic partners slated for Cooper College, EIGA. Shettima will also co-chair a forum on turning digital trade into a catalyst for growth in Africa slated for the Picture Congress Center. He will also attend as a panelist a stakeholder dialogue titled Global Risk 2025. The Global Risk report highlights an increasingly volatile global landscape marked by accelerating geopolitical, technological, and environmental challenges. The event is slated for the Aspen II Congress Center in Davos. The Vice President will be accompanied by the Ministry of Nigeria from the United States of America. The former minister, who has been in the United Kingdom since she left the shores of Nigeria, claimed that the money linked to her in the media as a loot actually belonged to a Nigeria's oil magnate, Kola Aluko. Breaking her silence in the matter through her counsel, Professor Mike Ozekome, son, Mrs. Alison Amadoke, insisted that there was nothing like Diazani loot, since she had no hand whatsoever in the issue surrounding the forfeiture of the money by the owner. Stating her position, the former minister said the $52.5 million came from a vessel seized by the American government from Kola Aluko, and which was later sold, and proceeds returned to the federal government of Nigeria. Her denial of ownership of the money was contained in a lengthy press statement issued on Sunday by the chambers of Mike Ozekome, son, and titled, "There is no such thing as Diazani loot." Local governments across Nigeria have commenced the process of opening accounts with the Central Bank of Nigeria in preparation for receiving direct federal allocations starting this January. This development follows the Supreme Court's July 11, 2024 landmark judgment affirming the financial autonomy of the country's 774 local government areas. The Apex Court declared an as unconstitutional, I beg your pardon, the practice of state governors controlling local government funds and directed that allocations be paid directly into local government accounts. And despite the verdict, the report indicates that governors have continued to manage local government area funds 6 months after the judgment. National Publicity Secretary of the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, Hamisu Anani, confirmed that local government areas would open accounts with the central bank as part of the preparatory process, and while progress was being made, certain challenges remain, particularly for states where the CBN does not have a special presence. He said Al Gore had been actively engaging key stakeholders, including state governors, finance commissioners, and the Attorney General of the Federation to address concerns. Anani said it is not just about implementation, but also sustainability. The Supreme Court's judgment has gaps that need to be addressed, and we are working to ensure everything is in place. Adding that even if the implementation goes on, sustainability is very key for the implementation. Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party has called a National Working Committee to ensure that the National Executive Committee meeting is held in February to allow party leaders to discuss and resolve outstanding issues. PDP Board of Trustees Chairman Adolphus Wabara, who stressed the importance of holding the NEC meeting in February, said since taking on the role of acting national chairman after Senator Iyocha's Ayu's removal from the court by the court, Umar Damagun has faced mounting criticism from party leaders amid the ongoing PDP crisis, with increasing calls for his resignation. During leadership crisis rocking the Labour Party took a new twist when the 29-man caretaker committee set up by Abia State Governor Alex Otti and Labour Party presidential candidate in 2023 election Peter Obi won Julius Abure to stop parading himself as the party's national chairman. A statement issued in Abuja, the committee headed by Senator Nanadi Usman declared that they were still in charge of Labour Party affairs by virtue of the mandate given to them by stakeholders of the party at an emergency convention. The new development comes barely 24 hours after Abure's chairmanship was affirmed by the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja. The court, presided over by Justice Hama Barka, relied on the judgment earlier delivered on November 13, 2024 in appeal between the Labour Party appellant against Chief Olushola Ebiseni and the Independent National Electoral Commission respondents to make the declaration. Led by Justice Barker, the 3-member panel made the declaration in the judgment of 2 separate appeals filed by Usman, the caretaker committee, and the INEC. But in a statement jointly signed by Usman and the National Secretary of the caretaker, Edo, Taraba, Ebonyi, and Kogi states, adding that 78% of all confirmed Lassa fever cases were reported from Ondo, Edo, and Bauchi, while 22% were reported from 3 states with confirmed Lassa fever cases. It also said of the 78% confirmed cases, Ondo reported 35%, Edo 28%, and Bauchi 15%, adding that no new healthcare worker was affected in the reporting week 1. And the National Lassa Fever Multi-Partner Multi-Sectoral Incident Management System had been activated to coordinate the response activities at all levels. In December 2024, the Director General of the NCDC, Dr. Jide Idris, said the Emergency Operations Center had been activated for Lassa fever, and the risk assessment was categorized as high, while the agency continued to address the current Lassa fever outbreak during this peak season. In 2024, the country recorded 9,685 suspected cases of Lassa fever, 1,187 confirmed cases, and 191 deaths across 28 states and 108 local government areas. And the World Health Organization has defined the Lassa fever as an acute viral hemorrhagic illness caused by the Lassa virus, a member of the anavirus family of viruses. I beg your pardon. Idris also said humans usually become infected with the Lassa virus through exposure to food or household items contaminated with urine or feces of infected mastomys rats, and the disease is endemic in the rodent population in some parts of West Africa. And now onto the business sector. Oil marketers have declared that filling stations, I beg your pardon, should not be blamed for the hike in the pump prices of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, as queues for the commodity surfaced in various locations on Saturday. Many filling stations in Lagos, Ogun, Abuja and Port Harcourt, among others, were closed on Saturdays as dealers explained that they were monitoring developments to make adequate price adjustments, adding that petrol prices had risen to between 1,050 naira and 1,150 naira per litre, depending on the area of purchase, following the hike in the cost of the commodity by the Dangote Premium Refinery and various depot owners. Dealers confirmed that PMS prices could continue to rise since the major components in fuel production, crude oil, has been on the upward swing lately, and there was an increase in the price of petrol produced by the Dangote Refinery. The $20 billion plant raised its PMS from 899 naira per litre to 959 naira per litre at its loading gantry. Commenting on the issue, the Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria said filling stations should not be blamed for the changes in the prices of PMS. Petron attributed the increase in PMS prices to the rise in the cost of crude oil in the international market, adding that prices were raised to a 4-month high following the introduction of new U.S. sanctions against Russian oil. The national president of Petron, Dr. Billy Gillis Harry, while quoting Section 205 of the Petroleum Industry Act, said petrol prices are determined by market forces, indicating that the government and the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited no longer sets petrol prices, adding that refinery operators in Nigeria will respond accordingly to changes in crude oil prices. Gillis Harry also said Petron members cannot buy petrol at a higher price and sell it at a lower price, and advocated privatizing government-owned refineries and encouraging competition in the downstream sector. President of the Nigerian Economic Society, Professor Adeola Adenikinju, has urged the federal government to implement cash transfers to those living in poverty and increase capital spending as the best strategies for tackling poverty and unemployment in Nigeria. Professor Adenikinju made the recommendations during an interactive session organized by the Senate Committee on Appropriation on the proposed 2025 budget. While analyzing the 2025 budget, he advised the government to adopt a conservative approach to budgeting and stressed the importance of capital spending to create jobs and drive economic growth. However, Minister of Budgets and Economic Planning Atiku Bagudu offered a slightly different perspective and urged that poverty reduction efforts should prioritize enabling business activities to thrive. Professor Adiola, earlier, the chairman of the Appropriations Committee, Senator Adiola Olamilekon, acknowledged the ambitious nature of the budget but expressed confidence in Tinubu's strategy to address Nigeria's revenue challenges. In his remarks, Senate President Godswill affirmed the 10th Senate's unwavering commitment to supporting the president in achieving his goals as a resolve to ensure the success of the Tinubu administration. Minister of Transportation Senator Said Al-Khali has called for increased funding to sustain and expand the nation's transportation infrastructure as outlined in the 2025 budget proposal. A statement signed by Chief Information Officer, Federal Minister of Transportation Gift Sedon, said while addressing the joint committees at the National Assembly in Abuja, Al-Khali expressed the ministry's commitment to realizing Nigeria's integrated infrastructure master plan, adding that the 2025 budget proposal was designed to build on the successes of the 2024 Appropriations Act and ensure continuity in the government's developmental agenda. The minister stressed that the proposal aligns with the renewed hope agenda of the current administration, focusing on rail modernization projects and other modes of land transportation, and appealed to the National Assembly for sustained support amid challenges in securing counterpart funding through loans. Arcali highlighted the pivotal role of transportation in national development, describing it as an enabler of government's growth, economic growth, and a gateway to the nation's economy. In reviewing the ministry's achievements for 2024, the minister cited the rehabilitation of the narrow gauge railway from Lagos to Kano, which is now operational for freight movements from Lagos Port to the Dana Inland Dry Port in Kano. He described this as a significant milestone in reviving economic activities. Minister of Works David Umahi has explained the non-inclusion of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway in the 2025 budget, describing it as an error amid concerns by operators over the exclusion of the multi-billion naira projects in the appropriation bill. He said, Managing Partner KPT Associates Limited, Dr. Chukuma Kachi, said the road project is an EPC plus F project that does not need to be included in the budget, adding that it is an engineering procurement construction and financing EPC plus F project. The contractor is paid at the end of the project or at the end of a phase, so it doesn't have to be in the budget annually. In a similar vein, the treasurer of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Victoria Island branch, Babatundi Adegoke, said the omission of the Lagos-Calabar Highway projects from the 2025 budget might be linked to the use of an EPC plus F engineering procurement, construction, and finance model for its execution. He said in an EPC plus F arrangement, the contractor undertakes the entire project scope, encompassing design, material acquisition, construction, and a portion or whole of the financial investment. This is coming after the Minister of Works has announced that Phase 1 of the highway will receive full funding from the federal government, and it appears to diverge from the traditional EPC plus F framework, where contractors usually contribute to project financing. Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria has declared plans to disburse a total sum of 1 billion naira in 2025. Smith said the amount to be distributed equally to micro, small and medium businesses across the country, fostering economic growth and support for businesses of all scales. This initiative, as outlined in the agency's 2025 budget proposal submitted to the National Assembly, is a bold step in addressing the funding gaps and challenges faced by the sector, which plays a critical role in Nigeria's economy. According to Smedan, the grant will target businesses that demonstrate growth potential, possess sustainable business models, and have the capacity to create jobs and contribute to economic development. An official at the agency who confirmed the plan said the initiative still requires legislative approval and adequate funding from the Office of the Accountant General, adding that the grant is conditional because we have some level of prospects before business can access it. The amount which will be shared equally is to help small businesses scale up and also be able to employ more persons and create jobs. Report by the International Monetary Fund has projected that the Nigerian economy will grow by 3.2% in 2025, following by a sharp decline to 3.0% in 2026. This is contained in IMF's latest World Economic Outlook update tagged Global Growth, Divergence and Uncertainty. This is coming after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu promised Nigerians that 2025 budget stands to address problems faced by Nigeria and Nigerians, giving high hope of a better country for all. Federal government has declared its acceptance of joining BRICS as a partner country, marking a step in its efforts to strengthen international collaboration and development. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, who affirmed the development in a statement signed by its spokesperson, Kimiebi Ebienfa, said BRICS, a bloc comprising major emerging economies, offers Nigeria a platform to expand trade, investment, and socio-economic cooperation with member countries. According to the statement, the decision underscores Nigeria's commitment to leveraging opportunities for growth in key areas such as energy security, infrastructure development, technology, and climate change. The partnership aligns with Nigeria's broader aspirations for inclusive growth, regional integration, and a global economic framework. The federal government also expressed optimism about engaging with the BRICS members to foster innovation, deepen economic ties, and encourage people-to-people exchanges, all while pursuing Nigeria's national interests and priorities to leverage the platform to advance shared goals in trade and investment, energy security, infrastructure development, technology, and climate change. The partnership also aligns with the national aspirations for inclusive growth, regional integrations, and active participation in shaping a fair and equitable global economic order in line with our ethos of strategic autonomy, stressing that Nigeria looks forward to engaging constructively with BRICS members to drive innovation, foster people-to-people exchanges in line with our national interests and strategic priorities. BRICS, originally an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, and China, expanded in 2010 to include South Africa, thus forming BRICS, and the group has since added Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and United Arab Emirates as full members earlier in 2024, all of whom attended this year's summit as full participants. And now on to international tidbits. Donald Trump has arrived in Washington ahead of his inauguration, with the billionaire Republican set to attend a series of events and celebrations before reclaiming the presidency. Trump, who arrived with his wife Melania and other family members at Dulles International Airport, headed to a private event, including a fireworks show at his golf club in Virginia outside Washington. He said the number of orders he will sign after taking office and had not yet been determined, but the figure will be record setting. This is advanced during President Joe Biden's outgoing administration, and Trump's promises for day one of his new term also include a massive deportation program, while thousands of demonstrators marched through the streets of Washington on Saturday in protest over Trump's policies. Many supporters of South Korea's embattled President Yoon Suk-yeol earlier on Sunday stormed a court building after his detention was extended, smashing windows and breaking inside, an attack the country's acting leader called unimaginable. This is coming after Yoon on Wednesday became the first sitting South Korean president to be arrested as he faces allegations of insurrection related to his stunning, short-lived December 3 declaration of martial law that has plunged the country into political turmoil. Shortly after the court announced its decision on Sunday, Yoon supporters swarmed the building, overwhelming riots, police trying to keep them at bay. Protesters blasted fire extinguishers at lines of police guarding the front entrance, then flooded inside, destroying office equipment, fittings, and furniture footage showed. Meanwhile, the police restored order a few hours later, saying they had arrested 46 protesters and vowing to track down others involved. Acting President Choi Sang-mok in a statement said the government expressed strong regret over the illegal violence, which he said is unimaginable in a democratic society, adding that the authorities would step up safety measures around gatherings. It was gathered that 9 police officers were injured in the chaos, while about 40 people suffered minor injuries. Here now is ATN Sports. Rangers manager Philip Clement has explained why Cyril Dessers lost his place in the starting lineup. Dessers was Rangers' first choice striker at the start of the season and has, however, not a game start for the Light Blues since the end of November. The forward is now behind youngster Hamza Igamani and Danilo in the pecking order. Clement said the emergence of Igamane has limited Dessers' role in the team. Arsenal forward Gabriel Martinelli has reacted to his side's Premier League 2-2 draw with Aston Villa. Arsenal threw away a 2-goal lead to draw with Unai Emery's side at the Emirates Stadium on Saturday, while Martinelli and Kai Havertz gave the Gunners a 2-goal lead. But Aston Villa responded through goals from Yuri Tielemans, and Oli Watkins, and VAR then denied Mikel Arteta's score side a late winner when Havertz stunned in midfielder Mikel Merino's shot. Havertz's goal was ruled out by VAR as the Germany international was adjudged to have used his arm as he turned the ball in. Reflecting on dropping the 2 valuable points in agonizing circumstances, Martinelli said it was disappointing. According to the Brazilian, that's the Premier League, the most difficult league in the world. And now, entertainment news. American rapper Cardi B has said she wouldn't be affected by the ban on TikTok in the United States. This is coming after TikTok shut down in the United States on January 19 after its Chinese owners failed to sell the platform, as mandated by a law enacted by President Joe Biden in April 2024. Following the ban, a social media user with the X handle at One Lex said rappers such as Cardi B who depend on TikTok to promote their music should find alternative jobs. Former manager of gospel artist Mercy Chinwo and head of Easy Concept Global Ezekiel Onyedikachiku has denied accusations of diverting $345,000 meant for the singer. In a lengthy post on Instagram, Onyedikachiku claimed that Chinwo had received a total of $625,000 from the label to date and alleged that Chinwo is attempting to claim ownership of a music catalog, reached her record label and management contract with Easy Concepts Limited, and accused her of weaponizing the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and religious organizations against him. And that's the global news for tonight. Before we go, another look at the major stories. I rejected ritual offer to become governor, Diri. Federal government mourns victims of tanker explosion in Niger State. Shetima departs for World Economic Forum in Switzerland. Queues resurface at filling stations. Trump arrives Washington for presidential inaugurations. Martinelli speaks on Arsenal draw with Aston Villa. TikTok ban won't affect me, Cardi B. I am Favor Chikwesri Michael. Thank you for watching. You can follow us on all our social media platforms, on Twitter at Atlantic TV Net, Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, on Instagram at Atlantic TV Network. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Do have a pleasant night's rest.